Good morning, it's Monday and it's math. I'm going to read you a book today called 17 Things I'm Not Allowed to Do Anymore by Jenny Ofel and Nancy Carpenter. And I can see on the front something she's doing that she probably shouldn't do again, right? That's not something we should be doing, is it? 17 things I'm not allowed to do anymore. I had an idea to staple my brother's hair to his pillow. I am not allowed to use the stapler anymore. Oh dear. That's probably a good idea. Not okay, is it? This girl seems like she's a bit of a troublemaker, doesn't she? I had an idea to glue my brother's bunny slippers to the floor. I'm not allowed to use glue anymore. She seems big enough to know better, don't you think? I think so. I had an idea to tell my brother he'd soon be eaten by hyenas. I'm not allowed to tell my brother's fortune anymore. I had an idea to walk backwards all the way to school. I'm not allowed to walk backwards to school anymore. It's a rather unsafe thing to do. I had an idea to do my George Washington report on beavers instead. I'm not allowed to do reports on beavers anymore. I had an idea to dedicate my report to all the beavers that ever lived. I'm not allowed to dedicate my report to beavers anymore. What she did with a dollar bill. Who'd she put on the dollar bill instead of George Washington? A beaver. I had an idea to tell the class I personally owned 100 beavers. I'm not allowed to say that I own beavers anymore. I had an idea to show Joey Whipple my underpants. I am not allowed to show Joey Whipple my underpants anymore. I had an idea to set Joey Whipple's shoe on fire using the sun and a magnifying glass. I'm not allowed to set Joey Whipple on fire anymore. I don't think she was allowed to do that in the first place, do you? I think pretty much all the things she's doing, she was never allowed to do in the first place. I had an idea to walk backwards all the way home from school. I am not allowed to walk backwards all the way home from school. Oh my. I had an idea to freeze a dead fly in an ice cube tray. I'm not allowed to make ice anymore. I had an idea to wash my hands in the dog bowl before dinner. I'm not allowed to wash my hands in the dog bowl before dinner anymore. Oh dear. I had an idea to give my brother the gift of cauliflower. I am not allowed to give my brother the gift of cauliflower anymore. I think there's a lot more things than this she's not allowed to do. I had an idea to order a different dinner from my mother. I'm not allowed to pretend my mother is a waitress anymore. I had an idea to tell the sad story of a mother who fell into a volcano. I'm not allowed to tell sad stories about volcanoes anymore. I had an idea to pretend I'd be struck deaf when I heard, "Go to your room." I'm not allowed to pretend anymore. I had an idea I might run away to live with the kind and happy beavers. I'm not allowed to talk even a little bit about beavers anymore. I had an idea to say the opposite of what I mean to trick everyone. I'm sorry. I am allowed to say the opposite of what I mean forevermore. So she can say she's sorry now. That was 17 different things that she did that she should not have done. And I have the sense she does a lot more things that she shouldn't do than that. So even more than 17. But today I want you to think about the fact that you're almost done being kindergartners and you're going to be first graders. And I want you to think about things that you can do now that you could not do when you first came to kindergarten. I want you to draw and write a sentence about those things, and if you can get more than 17 things like she did, that will be a miracle. Count how many things you can do before you were a kindergartner, that you couldn't do before you were a kindergartner, that you can do now. And I'm curious to know how many of those things you can think of. I can think of a lot of ways that you've changed and things that you do better now than you did when you first started kindergarten. I wonder if you can remember all those things. Okay, I can't wait to see your math. See you soon.